The Florida Everglades, a sprawling wilderness of sawgrass marshes and winding waterways, is a place where life flourishes in every direction. At sunrise, the wetlands come alive with the calls of wading birds, the rustle of reptiles, and the distant splash of alligators. For generations, this unique ecosystem has been a sanctuary for countless species, both native and invasive, and a living laboratory for scientists seeking to understand the delicate balance of nature. But on one seemingly ordinary morning, the Everglades became the scene of a chilling mystery for Dr. Anya Sharma and her dedicated team of wildlife researchers. What began as a routine python survey, a task they had performed countless times before, would soon turn into an investigation that would shake the scientific community to its core. As they navigated the dense undergrowth and muddy waters, the team stumbled upon a massive Burmese python, its body stretched out in the shallows. But something was terribly wrong. The snake's head had been cleanly severed, as if by a single, deliberate stroke. Shocked, the researchers pressed on, only to find more headless pythons hidden among the reeds and marsh grass. Each decapitation was precise, almost surgical, with no signs of struggle or predation. The pattern was unmistakable and deeply unsettling. Soon, the marsh revealed its grim secret: dozens of python carcasses, ranging from small juveniles to enormous adults, lay scattered across the landscape. The sheer scale of the slaughter was unlike anything the team had ever encountered. At first, the team considered natural predators. Could alligators or the elusive Florida panther be responsible? But the evidence quickly ruled them out. These were not the ragged wounds of a wild animal's attack. Instead, the cuts were clean, efficient, and unmistakably made by a sharp blade, perhaps a machete or even a surgical knife. Whatever was responsible, it was far more methodical than any animal. As the team documented the carnage, their usual scientific detachment gave way to a growing sense of unease. The Everglades, once a place of wonder and discovery, now felt ominous and unpredictable. The scale and precision of the killings suggested a deliberate, calculated force at work, one that seemed to be targeting the pythons with chilling efficiency. For years, Burmese pythons had reigned as apex predators in this ecosystem, their numbers growing unchecked and their presence reshaping the Everglades. But now, they were being systematically decimated, their dominance suddenly and inexplicably challenged. The team's findings were compiled into a detailed report, which quickly sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Experts from around the world were baffled. No one had ever seen anything like it. Theories abounded, but answers remained elusive. As word spread, the Everglades took on a new, almost alien quality. The familiar landscape was now shrouded in mystery, its secrets hidden beneath the mist and shadows. What force could be behind such a calculated slaughter? The mystery of the decapitated pythons had only just begun, and as news outlets around the globe picked up the story, the world watched with bated breath. The Everglades, once a symbol of wild beauty, had become the epicenter of a baffling and disturbing enigma. To truly grasp the shock and urgency of this discovery, we need to step back and understand the full scope of the crisis unfolding in the Florida Everglades. Imagine the surprise and concern on the faces of scientists and wildlife experts as they stumbled upon the remains of these massive predators, creatures that, until recently, seemed unstoppable. The python problem isn't just a local nuisance, it's a full-blown ecological disaster. These invasive Burmese pythons have slithered their way into the heart of Florida's wetlands, thriving in the dense grass and murky waters of the Everglades, a place that has become their new kingdom. Originally, Burmese pythons are native to the lush forests and swamps of Southeast Asia. But in Florida, their story took a dark turn. Many were released into the wild by pet owners who could no longer care for them, never realizing the consequences. With no natural predators to keep them in check, these snakes quickly rose to the top of the food chain, becoming the region's apex predators almost overnight. Their population exploded at an alarming rate. With nothing to stop them, they began to devastate the native wildlife. The Everglades, once teeming with a rich variety of animals, started to empty out. The silence in the wetlands grew louder as the pythons hunted unchecked. Raccoons, rabbits, opossums, and even formidable alligators fell victim to these relentless hunters. The pythons' appetite knew no bounds, and their ability to reproduce rapidly only made matters worse. Entire populations of small mammals vanished, and the balance of the ecosystem was thrown into chaos. In response, the state of Florida launched organized hunts and tracking programs. Wildlife officers, scientists, and even everyday citizens joined the fight, searching the marshes and setting traps in hopes of curbing the python invasion. Yet despite their best efforts, the snakes continued to spread, outsmarting and outnumbering their human pursuers. The impact was nothing short of catastrophic. In some areas, mammal populations plummeted by over 90%. The Everglades, once a vibrant sanctuary for countless species, became a shadow of its former self. The loss of these animals rippled through the ecosystem, affecting everything from birds to plants. For years, it seemed that humans were the only force pushing back against the python onslaught. Hunters, scientists, and volunteers worked tirelessly, removing thousands of snakes from the wild. Bounty programs were introduced, and public awareness campaigns urged everyone to join the fight. Then, something unexpected happened. Suddenly, thousands of pythons began turning up dead, their bodies scattered across the wetlands. Wildlife officials were baffled. These deaths weren't the result of human intervention. Something else was at work, killing the pythons with ruthless efficiency. Overnight, the balance of power in the Everglades shifted. The landscape began to change once more, and signs of recovery appeared. Native wildlife started to return, and hope flickered in the hearts of those who had fought so hard to save this unique ecosystem. But what had caused this dramatic turn of events? Mysterious tracks appeared in the mud, and rumors spread of a new predator stalking the wetlands. Something unknown had entered the fight, something powerful enough to challenge the unwanted kings of the Everglades. Dr. Sharma's discovery was just the beginning. What started as a routine survey of the Everglades quickly spiraled into one of the most perplexing wildlife mysteries in recent memory. As Dr. Sharma trekked through the dense, humid wetlands, she had no idea that her findings would soon send shockwaves through the scientific community. Soon, teams across South Florida found thousands of decapitated pythons. The scale of the phenomenon was staggering. Never before had so many of these invasive giants been found dead, let alone in such a gruesome and specific manner. The news spread rapidly, drawing in experts from across the country, all eager to understand what was happening in the heart of the Everglades. The cuts were clean, the heads missing, and there were no signs of struggle. It was as if something, or someone, had methodically removed the heads with surgical precision. The bodies lay eerily still, undisturbed by scavengers, as if the very act of decapitation had deterred other animals from approaching. Forensic analysis ruled out known predators and disease. The wounds were too precise. No animal native to the region could have made such clean incisions, and there was no evidence of infection or illness. The mystery deepened as scientists realized that whatever was responsible operated with a level of efficiency and accuracy rarely seen in nature. The method was almost mechanical, repeated across snakes of all sizes. From the smallest juveniles to the largest adults, none were spared. The pattern was unmistakable. A single, swift cut, always at the same spot, always leaving the body behind. It was as if the perpetrator was following a set of instructions, carrying out a task with chilling consistency. Years of human effort hadn't dented the python population like this. Despite countless hours spent setting traps, tracking snakes, and removing them from the ecosystem, nothing had ever come close to the sudden dramatic drop in numbers now being witnessed. The usual methods, labor-intensive and often frustrating, seemed almost futile by comparison. While the deaths could help the ecosystem, the mystery behind them was deeply unsettling. The Burmese python had long been a destructive force in the Everglades, outcompeting native species and disrupting the delicate balance of life. Yet, the abruptness and brutality of their demise left scientists uneasy, questioning whether the cure might be as dangerous as the disease. What could kill so many apex predators with such efficiency? The Everglades is home to formidable hunters, alligators, panthers, and more, but none possess the means or motive for such targeted killings. Rumors began to swirl. Was this the work of a new predator, a secretive human operation, or something else entirely? The missing heads only deepened the puzzle. Why take just the heads? Was it a calling card, a warning, or did the heads hold some unknown value? Each new discovery raised more questions than answers, fueling speculation and fear among those who worked in the wetlands. Scientists were left with a grisly tally and no answers. Every day the count grew higher, and with it, the sense of urgency. Meetings stretched late into the night as researchers pored over data, desperate for a breakthrough that might explain the carnage. The Everglades had a new, invisible force at work. As dawn broke over the misty wetlands, one thing was clear. The balance of power had shifted, and the true nature of this unseen threat remained hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. For scientists, the python deaths shattered everything they thought they knew. Pythons had no natural enemies here, so what was hunting them? Alligators and panthers were ruled out. Their attacks are messy, not surgical. Disease and toxins didn't fit either. Nothing but a physical act could explain the decapitations. The evidence pointed to a deliberate, powerful force. Every logical explanation failed. The scale, the method, the lack of clues, none of it made sense. The scientific community was forced to consider the unthinkable. Was this a new predator, a human intervention, or something else entirely? The Everglades had become a puzzle with no clear solution. The search for answers was just beginning. With science stumped, theories ran wild. Some suspected a secret group of vigilantes, wielding blades and operating in total secrecy. But the Everglades is vast. How could humans kill thousands of pythons undetected? Others speculated about a new, undiscovered animal, perhaps a giant otter with a taste for snakes. The most outlandish ideas invoked aliens or legendary swamp spirits. With no evidence, imagination filled the void. The true python predator remained a mystery. In the communities around the Everglades, the story took on a life of its own. Old-timers recalled legends of swamp guardians rising to restore balance. Some believed a lone, skilled human was behind the killings, a ghost of the glades. Hunters reported strange sounds and tracks, fueling rumors of something extraordinary. Native American elders saw the deaths as the land healing itself, a natural correction. For locals, the Everglades spirit was fighting back. Ecologists worried about the consequences of this mass die-off. Fewer pythons could mean a comeback for native mammals and birds, but ecosystems are complex. Removing one apex predator can trigger unpredictable changes. Alligator numbers might surge, or the new predator could turn to other prey. The Everglades was entering a new phase of instability. Scientists feared a trophic cascade, with ripple effects throughout the food web. The python killer was now a major, unknown player. The balance of the swamp was shifting once again. The scientific community mobilized to solve the mystery. Dr. Sharma's team set up hundreds of camera traps and tagged python carcasses as bait. Environmental DNA tests searched for traces of the unknown predator. Biologists, engineers, and data analysts joined forces, leaving no theory unexplored. Could an animal be using tools? Was it a new species? So far, the cameras have captured only native wildlife, no sign of the killer. eDNA results remain inconclusive. The decapitations continue, though python numbers are dropping. The race is on to find answers before the Everglades changes forever. The world waits as the swamp keeps its secrets.